Guys, Rooster here in Tennessee, roostercb.com. A little demo video on one we've not done before. This is a Fatboy straight 10 2879C. This is probably going to be an amp that's ran in a mobile, going to a friend of mine. So I figured we do a little test on it here and see how this bad boy runs. 4 fans on top of it, so it should be nice and cool for hammering down on it for long periods of time. How much drive do I really think this thing could take? Well, if we just go based off of a straight 4-pill 2879C, I generally say around 200. Depending on the voltage, you could probably hit one with 250. I would say on this amp, since it's basically 2.5 4-pills, I'd say around 500 or so PEP myself, and probably about 200 average. Now, what are we going to drive it with today? That's pretty important, I guess. 350 to 375 PEP and about 150 to 165 average coming out of this 2970 N2. Now, the overall dead key that I'd recommend on this amp, if you want it to live, I would probably stay no more than 400 to 500 watts. Obviously, you'll have some people that'll want to maul it up and run it up there 600, 700, 800 watt dead key. But if it was me, everyday talking use, conversation use, I would stay between 400 and 500 watts overall dead key with the amp and everything engaged. So anyway, we'll get along to testing it here. We're only going to be running it at 15 volts, which is also very important for some perspective on the power output we're going to see this amp doing. We're underdriving it a little, and we're only putting about 15.1 volts into it. Whereas it can take, some people putting up to 16, 17 volts in these 2879Cs. I honestly like to hang around the 15 volt mark, nice and safe. It gives you some leeway on your drive when you're not maxed out on the voltage. If you're running this thing at 17 volts, it doesn't give you a lot of fluctuation or leeway or forgiveness, however you want to look at it, on your drive. Or let's say you have a little spike in your SWR and you're running everything to max output, you're going to have a failure more than likely. So less voltage, less risk, not quite as hard on it, make it live for a while and run good. But I think you guys will like the power output this one does. This was a prepaid amp. Of course, Fatboy turned it around pretty quick for me and got it in here. And looking forward to the customer getting this one and hammering down the mobile with it. So that being said, we'll come over to the bird. We'll do average power first and then PEP. We've got a 2500 watt slug. We probably could have stood to use a little bit bigger one, but 2500 is what we'll go with, and we'll just give it a good audio here. Audio. I'd call that 11 to 1200 average easily, and that's off a 300 watt dead key. So 1200 average, 1100 average. We can call it 11. I don't want to overstate it and say, oh, it's doing 1250 average, and you guys are saying, well, it only looked like 11 to me. So we'll call it 11, but it was well past the 10, which is on the top scale there. And now we'll just check PEP. Oh, audio, 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 audio. 2500 PEP, audio on the dot, actually. Check, audio, 1, 2, 3, audio, 1, 2, 3, audio, 1, 2. Not backing down, not falling off. Staying where we want it to stay, all the way to the right, locked up tight. Audio break. Check, audio. All right, so that's it. It's actually doing more than I expected it to do. I figured at 15 volts, with the power that we're hitting it with, I thought, we'll probably see about 2K out of it and about 800 watts average. But this thing's getting with it. Pretty impressed with how this one's doing. Not let down at all. It was making the power supply drop to 15 even. It's 15.1 on the idle, 15.0 when we actually keyed it down. I took a glance at it down there. But really impressed with how this one's doing, guys. I mean, 10 pills or something I've never, messed with a whole lot. But that's what the customer asked for. And I'm actually glad they put it in this cabinet. I wasn't sure if it was going to come in a 2-fan cabinet or a 4-fan cabinet. But this is my favorite cabinet from Fatboy. It's I think they use this from the 10s up to the 16s, I believe. So I really like this cabinet. The 4 fans on it's run nice and quiet, but plenty of airflow. And yeah, been a while since I've done a video on a larger Fatboy amp, so this thing should be a mean machine. I hope the customer likes it, and I hope to get this one to him here in the very near future here. Fatboy, straight 10, 2879C. Remember, we're only hitting it with about 3/4 of the power that it can take. So it should really get up with some authority with the right amount of drive going into it. You know, you put 450, 500 PEP in, and put another 50 watts average or so into it. This thing should really get up and do the Watusi. All right, guys. Fatboy 10 pill 2879C, Rooster in Tennessee, roostercb.com. Thank you to Fatboy for this one. Another one knocked out of the park. See you. Bye.